So happy to have Scott Wollschleger on the show. Scott, welcome.
Thank
Welcome.
you. Thank you. Yeah, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you want to show everyone your bookshelf so they can.
Well, yes, so behind is this lovely color-coded bookshelf that, I'm aware that it makes some people on the internet grumpy to see this. I don't know why, but I organize things according to color. So this makes more sense to me than, I guess, traditional arrangement of books.
Well,
So
it's amazing how many colors are. I mean, I usually think of books as kind of black and white and brown, but no, they're yellow and red and orange. So
I,
I think the problem I think the problem is that sometimes people buy books by their color and then just put them on their shelf because they look really good. So
I
if
might be
you've
guilty
read
of
them,
that. Yeah,
Not
if you've
Scott.
read them, it's okay.
maybe, yeah.
Scott, I think we're missing. You gotta just say one quick, like, move to the side so we can see the full. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, so that
So,
was.
so you are in New York, is that right?
Yeah, I'm in Brooklyn right now.
Probably the biggest contingent today so far has been from Brooklyn, but otherwise, some across the ocean is pretty widespread.
Right.
So tell us about your piece. What are we going to hear?
Yeah, so Karl Larson is a dear friend and a great pianist, and he's going to be performing Tiny Oblivion. This is a piece that actually grew out of a piano concerto that I wrote for Karl called Meditation on Dust. And so Tiny Oblivion is sort of ephemera from that piece. One thing you'll notice in this piece that's also in the concerto is the concerto comes to agreement when the piano sort of mimics the open strings of the string instruments. So you'll hear these stacked fifths show up, and that's sort of a mimicking of just, violin and cello. That shows up in Tiny Oblivion towards the end. But yeah, so the title of the piece is somewhat provocative, and I didn't really mean it to be that way, but when I was writing it, I had this image of looking up at the stars and seeing, just looking into the universe basically. And that was sort of the feeling I had when I was writing the music. And when I look, at the night sky, I think this is a common feeling, but we do sort of think of mortality and vastness, and I happen to think about oblivion quite a bit, and the idea of oblivion is interesting to me, and I guess in some way, our life, when we die, we get to experience sort of a tiny oblivion of our own, and so that's weirdly comforting to me to think that we get to kind of participate in the oblivion of everything collectively. So anyway, so the piece sort of invokes this vast, metaphor of space, and it's kind of a meditative work. And yeah, I'm super stoked Karl's going to play it, and yeah, it's great to be here.
It's
Yes,
great.
it was really interesting to hear, how artists work. I wrote a concerto. I've extracted a piece from it. First of all, we're allowed to steal from ourselves. That's really okay.
Yeah,
But
And other people.
yeah,
and
yeah,
other people,
absolutely, yes.
on occasion, yeah, in a certain way. Yeah, and just that there's so much flexibility in how artists are working, and just taking the liberty to reimagine the material, and so I'm looking forward to hearing this as well as the larger context.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
well, the concerto was done at the Bang on a Can Summer Festival.
It was, yes. It was programmed,
Yeah.
I guess, a couple years ago, right? So, yeah.
And I think the way you describe this Oblivion is really interesting, because I always think about this in your music, that it's sort of the question of, well, we have this thing that seems like it's empty, that's actually really full.
Exactly.
And you have to sort of change your metabolism to figure out just how full it is.
Right, exactly.
So I'm looking, like Julie, I'm looking forward to it.
Right on.
And it's just been great, the close relationship you've had with Karl and all the music you've written with that he's been part of.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Karl's also, super part of the Bang on a Can family.
Mhm.
And thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank
And
you.
Thank
looking
you.
forward